Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Remy bin Muhammad Riza, and my matrix number is 01DDT23F1111. And my group member is Muhammad Ruzafi bin Muhammad Rizwan, 01DDT23F1009. And also my another group member is Muhammad Anif Farhan bin Muhammad Abdurrahman, 01DDT23F1186. And today I'll be present about PBT, problem-based tasks for subject object-oriented programming, OOP. And next, we will continue. I will read a case scenario. You have been asked by your academic advisor to construct a polling system to select your class representative. In the process of developing the system, you must apply and use variable and operators, input and output stream, branching statement, array class and object concept, inheritance, and exception handling mechanism. Your program must have at least this requirement and specification: A candidate's registration, voters registration, polling process, polling result. All the above functionality code should be written in their own dedicated class. The given rubric should be referred in the process of planning and constructing the system. So let's continue about the coding. And for this one, I'm using import java.ot.star because it's can use for many. Such example is for array and also scanner. And for the superclass is named by person, string name. And also for the constructor, I'll be using public person, string person name, we save person name will be saved at the name, and also public string get name, and for the return it will be name. And for the subclass is class candidate extend person. The subclass is candidate private int vote, and also public candidate string, and the constructor is public candidate string candidate name super candidate name votes equals to 0. And for the another constructor is public void at vote, and also public int get vote, and will be written by return votes. And for the another subclass is class voter extend to person, public voter string. And for the constructor is public voter string voter name super voter name. And it's because I using a inheritance is to prevent the duplication error. So that's all for my explanation about this coding, and will be continue for my friend. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. My name Muhammad Anif Farhan bin Abdul Rahman. My matric number 01DDT23F1186. Now, I want to explain my part for this coding. So now I want to explain a class election system. So for this code have a private array list candidate that to store the candidate, and then the voter to store the voter, and the last is a scanner is one to input from a user. So for the register candidates method, we use a array list to store a candidate object. So a scanner object will so the scanner object will read the input from the user. So after that, a loop is function for a limitation of a candidate that only have a 3 candidate for registration for this code. So this also have a system out print line, class representative polling system, and then blank, and the last candidate registration. And then for the register voters method, have a system out print line, blank, and the voter registration, and enter the number of voters. So after enter the number of voter, the user will input the number of voter to input the number of word. And then for the loop, the number of voter is don't care how many. So have a system out print enter the name of voter, and then have a input from a user string name equals scanner dot next line to input the name in this code. And then we go to the last, my part is a public void conduct polling. So we go to conduct polling method, have a system out print line blank, and then have a polling process and the blank more. So For the loop is a voter, voter, voters, and for the system out print line if blank, system out print line will come out. The output is a list of candidates. So for this loop, is show the list of candidate and have their number. So for the voter, after this code will come out, the voter will select their preferred candidate using this number. So like if output for the first candidate have get a number one, so the voter will, if they want to pick that candidate, so they are only use their candidate number. So that's how the voter will want to vote of the candidates. So that's all from me from my part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Uzafi Memang Rizwan. My message number is 01JDT23F1009. Today I will continue for this PBT. We will look at this Boolean block of code. So this block of code to make sure that is the input that the user given match the input that the candidate has. If the user put 3 candidate and they choose the candidate number 4, it will go to the else, this invalid choice. So they need to enter the code, the numbers that are valid. So we look at this valid versus false. It means that if they input the wrong number, it will go to this page. After that, it will clear the output, invalid input. This one for the clear the invalid input. Next, we'll look at the display result. As its name suggests, this row of code is for to display the result. So it will print out the voting result and the number of vote for each candidate. Next, we'll look at the class polling, which has the public static voice main. And in this class, we have the electric system. It create an instance of the election system. And then we have the register candidate. It is for the register voters, conduct the polling process. And lastly, it is for display the voting result. That's it for the codes. Next, I will try to run exactly as PBT result. So let's try run the code as the PBT output. We need to enter the candidate name. So first candidate, I will name Ramli. Second, Sudin. Third, Aziz. And then we need to register how many voters. There is 3 in the PBT, so we put 3. And the first voter will name Ali. The second one will name Mutu. And lastly, we'll name Bang. And then we have the list of candidates. So Ali can choose which one he wants to vote. And Ali vote for number 1. And Mutu vote for number 2. And Leslie Pong vote for number 2 also. And then it will pop up the thank you, our voters. You have voted today as your class representative. And then we have the voting result. For the number of votes for Ramli is 1. Meanwhile, for the student, we got 2 votes from Ben and Mutu. So as you can see, the code work as intended and match the output that the PPT provides. That's all from us. Thank you very much.